The Blues book a place in the FA Cup semi-final for the third season in a row after getting the job done in North Yorkshire. Watch until the end of this review to hear all of my thoughts on yesterday's match. Hello people, welcome to my channel, welcome to another video. This is my review of the match that took place yesterday evening at the Riverside Stadium in the FA Cup quarter-final between Middlesbrough and Chelsea, which Chelsea ended up winning by 2-0. So what I'm going to do for you guys in terms of this review is that firstly, I'll run you through the lineup that Thomas Tuchel fielded at the start of yesterday's FA Cup quarter-final tie against Middlesbrough. I will then be giving you guys my thoughts on the match itself, and yes, I'll be breaking it down into the first half and the second half, and in addition to this, I'll be giving you guys the positives and the negatives that I took from the match, and lastly, I'll be giving you guys my thoughts on how we're doing ahead of the forthcoming international break. So without further ado, let's get straight into this review. So we shall begin this review by taking a look at the lineup that Thomas Tuchel fielded at the start of the match against Middlesbrough, and as always we're going to begin by talking about the formation that he chose, and it was a 4-2-3-1. I certainly wasn't expecting it to be a 4-2-3-1, but it was a 4-2-3-1, and in terms of the personnel Thomas Tuchel chose, it was Edouard Mendy in goal. The back four was made up of Cesar Azpilicueta, who was stationed in the right back position. I almost said right wing back, but yes, he was stationed in the right wing. Oh my god, in the right back spot. The centre back pairing was Thiago Silva and Antonio Rudiger, with Malang Sarr in the left back position. So that was our back four. In terms of the two just ahead of them, it was Mateo Kovacic and Ruben Loftus-Cheek. And in terms of the three just ahead of the two, because it's a midfield five, it was Hakim Ziyech in the right wing or right attacking midfield position, whichever one you guys want to go with. But yes, it was Hakim Ziyech down our right hand side, Mason Mount in the number 10 position, with Christian Pulisic in the left wing position, and up front it was Romelu Lukaku. So that is the lineup that Thomas Tuchel fielded at the start of yesterday's FA Cup quarter-final tie against Middlesbrough. Now I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on the match itself, and yes, I'm going to start with my thoughts on the first half, and I have to say that we actually made a good start to the match. I wasn't expecting us to look so organised, and I say this because it's Middlesbrough. They do like to press high, and they did do that throughout the match, but I have to say that we got through their press really well, and we made a good start to the match. And in terms of the goal, the first goal, it came through us beating their press. It started with some play at the back between Hakim Ziyech and a couple of our defenders, and Hakim Ziyech ended up getting the ball down our right hand side. He then fed the ball to Mason Mount, and Mason Mount saw Romelu Lukaku in the box, fed it to him. It was a great cross, and Romelu Lukaku just tapped it home, and Mason Mount did get into that position before Christian Pulisic did have a chance as a result of Mason Mount getting in behind the Middlesbrough defence and putting the ball into the box. It did evade Romelu Lukaku thanks to one of the Middlesbrough defenders, but Christian Pulisic couldn't get on the end of it. But that happened before the goal that Romelu Lukaku scored. But yes, what I'm trying to say is that Mason Mount did threaten to do that, or did do that, shall I say, before we scored. And for me, he was having a really good first half. He was getting into really good positions, and he was causing a lot of problems down our right hand side, and of course the Middlesbrough left hand side. But yes, the first goal for me was a really good goal. It was really well orchestrated, and Romelu Lukaku needed that. But what I'll also add is that he was causing them a lot of problems with his strength and his hold up play in the first half. And it was actually really good to see, because he has been low on confidence recently. But yes, great goal from him. And after that, Middlesbrough did have a spell where they put us on the back foot and made it hard for us to get out of our own half. But we rode the storm, and we eventually got the second goal through Hakim Ziyech, and I have to say, what a goal this is. Um, Again, it came from us beating their press and progressing the ball really well. We actually managed to progress. Sorry, we actually managed to progress the ball through the center of the pitch this time. Mateo Kovacic ended up getting the ball. He then fed it to, I think it was Mason Mount, and he then gave it to Hakim Ziyech, who cut inside and fired the ball into the back of the net with his dominant left foot from range. And I have to say that it was a beautiful shot. The movement on the shot was just, it was gorgeous. It was always going to be hard for the keeper to save that. And I say this because while I was watching the match yesterday, the commentators, or Jermaine Genius to be exact, did say that the keeper should have done better. But for me, with the way it was moving, I can't blame the keeper for that. But yes, it was a great strike and a nice birthday present for Hakim Ziyech. But yes, that was a glorious shot, and we did deserve it because we were playing some good stuff up to that point, despite having a 10-minute period where we were having to do quite a bit of defending. And I do have to give Middlesbrough credit for that because they really did put us on the back foot, although they didn't really generate any clear cut chances. But yes, overall, in terms of the first half, I have to say that it was a dominant performance from us. We really did not allow Middlesbrough to create any clear cut chances at all, and we scored 2 goals, and we probably should have had more. But yes, it was a great first half performance, and in terms of my thoughts on the second half, we made a great start to the second half. We continued to put pressure on them. We threatened a third. We should have had a third. Romelu Lukaku did have that chance where he tried to go around the keeper, but his shot got blocked on the line, and I have to say it was a good defensive block. But yes, it was very unlucky. Later on in the second half, we did see Middlesbrough get in behind us a few times and threatened to create some chances, but they didn't really manage to do so on a frequent basis. And they didn't really test Edouard Mendy, who really didn't have anything to do throughout the entire game, if I'm being completely honest. But um, they did have some really good moments in the second half, but not enough to really threaten us or threaten a goal. But yes, we did have quite a few chances in the second half. Timo Werner had a chance where the ball came through to him after Mason Mount put the ball into the box, but his shot got blocked. Um, but yeah, overall, I have to say um, it was a great performance from us. And just before I completely summarize, I have to say that there were some really good performances in there were some really good individual performances from the players yesterday. I mean, no one had a bad game. Yes, some of our players were better than others, but there were some strong performances, and this needs to be highlighted because Middlesbrough are not an easy team to play against, and they are threatening to get promoted to the Premier League. So um, they should be taken seriously at all times. But yes, great performances all round, I have to say. And like I said already, some better than others, but overall, it was a great performance. We deserved to win. No one can dispute that. And with everything that has gone on, it was just amazing to get the job done because now we're in the FA Cup semi-final, awaiting who will play at Wembley, and hopefully we are able to get into the final and win the bloody competition because it's about time we won it again. But yes, I've gone on a tangent, but yeah, in terms of the positives and the negatives that I took from the match, 2 positives, 1 negative. The first one is that Thiago Silva was absolutely immense. The amount of defensive tackles and defensive blocks he made was unreal. The amount of times he was spraying the ball was really good. Um, but yes, he was the man. He was the best player on the pitch yesterday, definitely. Another player who I thought was really good was Hakim Ziyech. He caused them all sorts of problems down that right hand side. He scored a goal. He scored the winning goal. So good performance by him. Mason Mount as well. He caused them a whole host of problems with his movement and his link up play. And I have to say that he really did show his experience from the Championship because he has played against Middlesbrough in the past, so he will know, or most likely know, some of the players that played, and know, he will definitely know how physical the Championship is. So it's especially good that he played well in this game. But yes, he was really good. I actually thought Ruben Loftus-Cheek had a really good game as well. Yes, he made a few mistakes, but he was getting past players really well. He did progress the ball really well at times, and he did link up really well. But yes, another one was Romelu Lukaku. Um, his hold-up play was really good. Um, he did link up really well with other players as well. He scored a really good goal as well. Yes, it was a tap in, but I say a really good goal in terms of the build-up play. But yes, I actually thought he had a good game, and hopefully he can build on it after the international break. But I'm not gonna go through the whole team because, like I said already, I thought everyone played a good game. But yes, that's the first positive that I took from the match, and I'll remind you, it was that Thiago Silva was immense. The second positive that I took from the match is that it was a fantastic performance against a tough opponent. Sorry, it was a fantastic performance against a tough opponent. Sorry for that. Um, and this deserves to be highlighted because Middlesbrough did knock out two Premier League teams on their way to the quarter-final of this competition. So a lot of credit has to go to the players and Thomas Tuchel and everyone else involved because we all knew that this was a difficult game and they really turned up and got the job done. So fair play to the players and everyone else involved. Sadly, there has to be a negative, and the only negative that I took from the match is that we really should have scored more goals. We had some glorious chances, but I'm sure the players will know that and they will do their best to work on it. But anyways, guys, that is it for my thoughts on the match. Do feel free to drop your thoughts down below and I'll do my very best to respond. Now, to end this review, I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on how we're doing ahead of the upcoming international break. I have to say that we're doing absolutely brilliantly, and we're doing absolutely brilliantly despite everything that is going on off the pitch in regards to Roman Abramovich and our potential buyers. Um, we've won 12 of our last 13 games, which is absolutely ridiculous, and the players deserve a lot of credit for that. We've beaten some really tough opponents along the way, and I'm not going to go through all of them, but we really have. I mean, the likes of Burnley, Middlesbrough, Spurs, to name a few. We've really done well. So hopefully, after the international break, we can build on this momentum and yeah, keep winning in the Premier League and progress to the final of the FA Cup and get into the Champions League semi-final. But we'll have to see after the international break. But yeah, that is it for this review. I hope you all enjoyed it. I'll see you very soon. Come on, you Blues. Come on, Thomas Tuchel, and